Okay. All right. I think we are live. Give everybody a couple minutes to come on. Welcome, everybody. Good evening. For some of you, good night. Some of you, it's midnight where you are. So, welcome, everybody. I'm about to get started in a minute. And if you're here, let me know. Just put a comment in LinkedIn or Instagram or wherever you're looking at this from. So I believe we are on LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook right now. Welcome, everybody. Put a comment in there. Let me know that you are here, and we will get started. I am super excited to share this information with you. Information that has changed my life and changed a lot of people's lives, and can change yours too if you wanted to. All right. So we are going to get started. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, everybody. My name is Eric F. King, for those of you that don't know me. And welcome, everybody. So today I am going to be talking about how to 5X your sales in 2025 without being pushy or salesy. All right. And the reason why I'm doing this is because, I've talked to a lot of people over the last, few weeks and months. And I found out that there are a lot of people that actually haven't hit their goals yet for the year. Okay. And they gave up and like, well, next year I'll do it. But the problem is some of these people do that every year. Right. So it's actually time now to actually get it done. Right. And get it done and start making money. It's not just for you, it's for your family, right? Your kids, your parents, whatever it is, right? So I'm going to dive right in. How to 5X your sales in 2025 without being pushy or salesy. By the way, if you are on Instagram and you want to see the slides, then just go to YouTube or LinkedIn, and you'll be able to see the slides. All right. All right. Okay. Welcome, everybody. Christy, I see you. Carl, I see you. All right. So we're going to get started. So let me start with my story because some of you may not even know who I am, right? So let me tell you how I came about being a sales coach. All right. So when I was a teenager, I was very shy, and I went to college and I majored in marketing. And I majored in marketing because I wanted to be the guy behind the scenes, putting together, the billboard ad or the commercial, but I didn't want to be in front of everybody. Okay. And after college, I got hired by a company called Xerox. Okay. They sold copiers, printers, and toner, things of that nature. And they told me they didn't have any availability for me to work in the advertising or marketing department. So they put me in sales. And I was devastated because I didn't want to be in sales, right? Because I'm not a salesman, right? And I don't even like salespeople. So I did not want to be in sales. I couldn't even believe that they put me in sales, but they did. And I talked to my dad about it, and he said, look, even if you don't want to be a salesman for the rest of your life, you'll learn some skills that can help you in sales and help you in life in general. So I decided, okay, you know what? I'll do this anyway. I'll do it anyway. Okay. So I started, and I wasn't comfortable selling. I wasn't comfortable. I felt like I was being pushy, and I didn't want to offend anybody. So I did horribly, right? First 60 days, I didn't make any sale, and I was about to be fired. And I was advised to find someone that sells the way I'm comfortable selling, and then learn from them to just model them. Okay. So what I did was there's this guy named Brian. He was the top sales rep in the region, and I asked him if I could shadow him. Shadow just means follow. I asked him if I could follow him and around just to see what he does, and he said sure. So I started following him around, and I realized that he wasn't actually selling, which was weird to me, right? He wasn't actually selling. Like, he would just get to know people, He would get to know them. He would talk about their family. He'll see a picture on the desk, and he'll say, "Oh, is that your daughter?" And they'll talk about that. And then he'll find something that they have in common, and they'll just chat. Okay. And then eventually he would say something like, "Okay, well, what do you like most about your copiers?" And most people don't say the positive, they say the negative. So they said, "Well, I don't really like my copier." He says, "Why not?" Then they'll tell him, they'll mention all the problems, right, of the copier. So then he'll start to learn about the problems. And then he'll go back to just chatting, just making friends. And then before we leave, he would say something like, well, he'll find out about the business, and then he'll say something like, "Well, um based on everything you told me, I think I can help you, right? We have this copier here that can help you." And now he'll say how I can help them. And then we have this other copier here, and then he'll say, "Which one do you prefer?" And then they'll say something like, "No, the second one," right? He said, "Great." So he'll take it off. And then he'll start talking about toner. You definitely need, like 4 months of toner, or maybe even 6 months. Which one do you prefer? And then they'll say, "Well, 4 months." Great. He'll take that off. And at the end of the conversation, we'll have this order, because this is back before there was no iPads or anything, right? So we had physical order, right? And then we'll have this order written up, and he'll say, "Okay, so we'll have all this delivered to you within 2 weeks." And we'll walk out, and he just made a big sale. So that was the first lesson that I learned. What was that selling is, number one, you have to get to know people. You have to get to know what they want, become friends, right? And then it's easy for them to open up, okay? And then they'll tell you what they want, okay? So that's how I learned how to sell, right? Watching someone that did it. And on the one day, we went to this company, and he did this presentation at this company. And after the presentation, he said, "Well, you guys are doing great with your current vendor," which was Canon. Canon was our competitor at the time. He said, "So, I'll just give you my card. If you ever need anything, just give us a call." And we left. So then when we got to the car, I said, "Well, so Brian, why didn't you try and sell them? Like, we have all these copiers, you could sell them." He said, "Well, because Canon is already doing a great job with them, right? They're getting a good deal with Canon." And he said, "One thing I want you to learn is you never sell something to somebody that can't help them. If it's not going to help them, don't sell it to them, because you're doing them a disfavor. It's not about you, it's about them." And I said, "Wow." I said, that's like, it's almost like you're compassionate." He said, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah, you have to be compassionate." So that's when I created my system of compassionate closer, right? Where you help people get what they want, but because you care about them, you do it in a compassionate way. Okay. That was my aha moment. All right. So what happened after that? Well, after that, that I ended up being one of the top reps in the whole company, right? Top reps within 16 months, right? I was making six figures in my 20s, right? Because I learned the system to be able to sell without being pushy or salesy, and it was working, right? And then I started thinking, well, this could be a career, right? And then obviously after that, I moved up to like vice president at Xerox. I went to another company. I moved up to a high position. Then I was given big accounts like Coca-Cola, and I was selling $1 million deals, right? So I went from not being able to sell a copier that's maybe $5,000 to having a Coca-Cola was one of my accounts in Atlanta, right? Multi-million dollar deals, right? But I use the same system, right? And it's this system that I'm going to teach you today, that I'm going to share with you. Okay. So let's go. All right. First of all, I want you to know that everybody sells. It's not, unusual to sell. It's not. Like we're always thinking, well, I'm not a salesman, I'm an entrepreneur. Well, if you're an entrepreneur, you're selling. At least you should be. No one's going to buy your offer if you don't sell, right? So if you're an entrepreneur, that's a high level of sales. That's exactly what you're selling your company, you're selling your products, you're selling your time. I mean, you're selling. Everything you're doing is selling when you're an entrepreneur, right? You're selling yourself, right? So remember, everybody sells, right? A newborn baby sells. If you know, I used to, my boys are teenagers now, but when they were kids, when I'd walk in the house, they would start crying. Not because there's anything wrong, but because they want me to pick them up. And I picked the both of them up. Now I can't pick them up anymore. They're taller than me, but right. So they were selling me. They were selling me, right? When a guy asks a lady out to dinner, right? And he wants to ask her out. So he starts asking her things like, what do you like to eat? And she said, this is what I like to eat. Great. And then he proposes a place, where they can get that kind of food. She'll say, fine. He sold her on the date, right? Now they're at the date, and the ladies, she's liking him, right? And she's like, wow, I need to sell him on a second date, right? Everybody's selling. Everybody's selling. Okay. So it's not weird. Nothing weird about that. Okay. All right. Now, um, have you ever bought a car at a dealership? And let me tell you why I ask, because a lot of people think about when they think of selling, they think of the dealership experience. Like, you get to the dealership. So let's say you have a family, three kids, a wife or a husband, whoever you are, and you want to buy a minivan for your family because you have a growing family, and you get to the dealership, and the sales rep comes up to you and says, hey, we have this great deal on this car, right? And he takes you back and shows you a sports car, right? That's not what you wanted, the sports car looks good, and he said, look, we can get you like $5,000 off, like, great deal. And then you take you on a test drive, and you're like, you know what? Maybe I'll get this. And then you end up buying the car. You get home, and then your family sees it and says, what did you do? We don't need that. That's not what we need. Man, that guy sold you, right? And then you feel bad because you've been sold, you've been ripped off. And that's what people think about when they think of sales, right? And that's why for a lot of entrepreneurs, they're not good at sales, because they figure to be good at sales, you have to be like that salesman, right? And just sell people things they don't need. But that's not sales. That's not sales. Let me give you another example. You go to the dealership, same scenario. You go to the dealership, the sales rep comes out and says, hey, so how can we help you today? And he said, well, I'm looking for a minivan for my family. My family is growing, blah, blah. He says, sure, no problem. He takes you out to the minivans and he says, what would you prefer? Would you like a foreign car, Toyota, Honda, or an American car, Chrysler, Dodge? He said, well, we like a foreign car. Okay, great. He takes you to the area with the foreign cars. He said, what kind of features would you like in your vehicle? Well, I want like leather seats, and I want the sunroof. And he said all these things that they want. And then he finds the perfect vehicle and says, let's go for a test drive. Right. And then he says, where would you like your payments to be per month? And you go, well, I can't afford anything over 400 a month. And he gets the payment to be like 355. Okay. So now you got the vehicle, it's the price, the right features and everything. You get home, your family sees it and says, this is what we want. This is perfect. Oh my goodness. How did you get it? And I said, well, the sales guy, he really helped me out. Really? Oh my God. We need to tell all our friends about him. Now that's how to sell, right? That salesperson was compassionate. He found exactly what they want, and they're happy, right? Right. So there's nothing wrong with being good at sales, right? The guy that sold me my car, he sold me, but I love it, right? My house, the same thing, right? Nothing wrong with it. You just have to do it the right way. Today, I'm going to share with you how to do it the right way in your business, no matter what you're selling. No matter, like, I don't care if you're selling t-shirts or you're selling planes. I'm giving you the framework today. Okay, stick around. All right, all right. So let's go. Okay. So first of all, understand that you are the bridge that takes your prospect from where they are to where they want to be, right? So that salesman I was talking about, he was the bridge that took that guy that walked in from where he is with no vehicle for his family to where he wants to be with a vehicle for his family. Okay. All right. 5 secrets to becoming a master at influence and persuasion. Because guess what? That's what you do in sales. You're influencing and you're persuading. You're not manipulating, but you're persuading. You have to persuade because a lot of people don't even realize what they need, right? So when you find it out, then you have to persuade them to go for it and get it because that's what they need. They'll thank you later, right? They'll thank you later, but you have to persuade, right? So first thing you want to do is build rapport. Build rapport. That's what I was talking about when I was talking about Brian. He built rapport. He got to know people. He got to know them, right? If you get on a Zoom call with someone and say, "Okay, John, thanks for meeting me today. Let's just jump right in. This is what I do. This is how much it is." That's the worst thing you can ever do. Worst thing you can ever. You have just commoditized your offer. In other words, when you're done, John will just say, "Okay, great. Let me shop around and get back to you," because you just made it a commodity. It was about the sale. You didn't get to know John. I have worked with people in the past that have told me that, Eric, what you're selling or your offer is more. It costs more than the other guy, but I'm going to go with you. I like you. I'm going to go with you because you look like you can actually help me. Like I'm going to go because it wasn't about the money anymore. It was about working with the right person. Okay. So you need to build rapport. Number two, you have to sell yourself on your offer. Sell yourself on your offer. If you if you are selling something that you don't believe in, then stop it. That's all I can tell you. Stop it. Find something else to sell because you will not be successful. Right? I knew a lady who used to come who used to come to my meetup group. We have meetup groups every week, and she was selling us a service she didn't like, and she wasn't making any money. And she told me, she said, "I just have no passion for it." Right? I introduced her to someone who introduced her to a business, and she loved the business. She got involved. She became one of the best in the world at it, like one of the best, because she sold herself. She loves what she does every day. She has a passion. Like I have a passion for what I do. And if you don't sell yourself on what you do and you don't believe in it, people can talk you out of it. Do you know that? People can literally talk you out of your own offer. Yep. This is not a good idea. Yeah, I don't even know why you're selling it. You know what I mean? So sell yourself. Now, the next thing is place your prospects' needs before yours. Right? Don't be selfish. Place your prospect. Don't meet with someone and think, okay, how much am I going to make on this person? No. Think about how am I going to help this person? And it's not just for them, but for you. Because if you go into a situation where you want to just sell, you will be nervous. You will be, fumbling because you want to take. But when you go into it saying, I just want to help this person get what they're looking for, then you'll be able to do it more often, right? If I'm talking to you about my offer and you say and you don't get it, I may feel sorry for you, but I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to be upset that I didn't get the sale. I'm just like, he could have used it, but oh well. You see what I'm saying? So remember, put your prospects' needs before yours. All right. Number 4, you want to find a mentor. You want to find a mentor. Look, you can go faster, further if you have a mentor. Because a lot of people just try and figure it out. They spend 5, 10, 15 years trying to figure it out. I've worked with hundreds of entrepreneurs, right? I've worked with people who have been doing the same business for 15 years. And they're like, yeah, one day maybe, I'll make 6 figures, right? The reason why they're not even close to it is because they never found someone to mentor them, to help them to get there. Find a coach, find someone out like I did, right? And then number 5 is become a storyteller. Tell more stories, okay? And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about stories. Tell more stories. Look, people get bored when you're just telling them facts. Trust me. If you say, so this is what I do, and then you just go boom, 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 boom. This is what we do. Our product comes from this country, and this is how much it is. people get bored with that. They're like, yeah, again, it's a commodity at that point. You have to tell stories to make it stick, right? To make people want to learn about what you do, you have to tell more stories. Look, I know a lady who sells jewelry, and when she's talking to her prospects, she doesn't even talk about the jewelry. She talks about the people that have bought her jewelry in the past. You know, like, let's say you have a wedding to go to. Oh, one of my clients last week, she went to a wedding and she used this and she loved it and she took these pictures, and you know what I mean? So the person's getting excited. It's not just jewelry. Okay. Why do you want to tell stories? Well, number one, stories are emotional. They're emotional, right? People, when people when you tug at their emotions, they remember you, right? That you're more memorable, right? I started this call today with a story of myself, right? You'll remember the story. You may forget some of the facts, right, that I'm talking about, but you'll remember the story generally, right? Because stories are emotional, right? Stories are relatable. People, when you tell a story that people can relate to, they're more likely to buy. Okay. I know a lady um who helps women that are 50 and over make more sales by starting a YouTube channel and doing videos. So I asked her, I said, well, how do you get people that are 50 and over to start doing videos all of a sudden? Because they weren't, they didn't grow up with YouTube. She said it's easy. I show them I show them other videos. I show them YouTube channels of my other clients who are 50s and 60s and even 70s, and how much they're making. And then they're interested. I said, wow, that's brilliant, right? People have to relate. People have to relate. You have to give people stories of other people using what you have. Okay. That's why we have testimonials, right? Right. So one of the things I do is I help speakers and coaches and authors get the word out about not necessarily their business, but what they do, what they offer on a stage, right? And some people, they say, "Well, Eric, tell me about it." And I say, "Well, have you looked at my website, studiospeaking.com?" No, 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 I haven't looked at it yet. Oh, well, take a look at that first. And then they come back and say, wow, I read so and so story. I read so and so story. I read so and so story, right? I have, I don't know, 15 stories there, right? Now they're interested in whatever I got, right? Right? Stories are relatable, right? Now, stories are indisputable. Stories are indisputable. What does that mean? You can't argue with someone's story. So if let's say I am a weight loss coach, and you want to lose 30 pounds in 4 months, and you come to me and I say, hey, I can help you lose 30 pounds in 4 months. Okay. I've done it before and I can do it again. I can help you lose, and then I start talking about, what I'm going to do to help you, blah, blah. And then you say something like, well, I know another guy who said he can actually make me lose 30 pounds in 3 months. And he is actually a little cheaper than you. And I'm like, well, he's probably not better than me because, and then we're going back and forth. And now it's an argument. And he's not going to buy if you argue it. Right? Customers don't buy when you're arguing with them. It's not going to happen. But instead of doing that, if I just say something like, you know what? You remind me of one of my past clients who wanted to lose 30 pounds in 4 months. And I helped him do that in 3.5 months. And then once I did, now he's able to play with his kids without getting tired, right? He's able to fit in his old jeans. And I tell the story. Now they're thinking, wow, I want to live like that. I want to be able to do that. You see what I mean? So a story is powerful. You get that connection with the story. Okay. So stories are indisputable. You can't argue with your story. And then stories are inspirational. They're inspirational. I've worked with people who told me, Eric, I just can't sell. I just can't sell. I'm not good at it. I've never done it before. Look, I've worked with so many people like that, and now they're selling. They're selling high ticket offers. We're going to talk about that, right? I know a lady, she just sent me her testimonial not long ago. She couldn't sell anything over like $500. Now she has $1,000 offer, she has a $2,000 offer, and she's selling on a regular basis, right? I had to change that. I had to change her mindset, but it's because I inspired her with other stories, right? All right. So that's why you tell stories. All right. Yes, Leah, never argue with a client. I don't know why you would do that, right? I don't know why people do that. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. All right. All right. Okay. So let's talk about asking magic questions. Here's the deal. This is one of the things I say in my coaching program. Um, if you're not asking questions, you're not helping your clients. You're not helping your customers. You have to ask questions. You have to get to know them. If you're not asking questions, then you're just pitching. And if you're pitching, you're not selling a lot and you're not making money. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Okay. Um, so let me give you a few examples, okay, of questions. Oh, hi Lucy. Good to see you. Good to see you, Lucy. Appreciate that. Um, Leah, I see you as well. Appreciate you. So here's a couple questions, a few questions. What is your number one goal? Find out. I don't care what you're selling. What's the number one goal? If you want to help, if you want to help women overcome trauma in their life, right? Right. And you're asking, you're finding out about the trauma. So, what's your number one goal? How would you like to overcome this? Find out from them, right? Number two. So now you know what they want, right? Number two, you want to know what their problems are. You want to know what their problems are. Okay. So you'll say something like, okay, what's stopping you or slowing you down from achieving your goal? And then they're going to tell you, well, this is it. And they're going to tell you their problems, right? So they're going to open up to you. And that's what you need. You need people to open up to you, because if they don't, you can't sell, because they'll be closed-minded. Closed-minded because they don't want to be sold. So right? People that don't want to be sold, they don't tell you anything, right? So that's what you have to do. You have to find out what their problems are. Okay, so that's an example. And then number three, here's another question. If something doesn't change within the next 12 months, what is the long-term effect? Right. This is a crucial question. Here's what you're trying to do. You want your prospect to understand that if they don't buy from you and achieve their goal, then they're going to be in the same situation for the next 12 months. All right. Because you need to tell them that they need to know. Right. So let them tell you the consequence. I call it the consequence question. Let them tell you the consequence of them not getting what you have before you even tell them what the offer is. Trust me, it's brilliant. It works all the time. All right. So I gave you three questions. In my coaching program, I have a coaching program coming up this January, beginning of January. If you want to be a part of it, you get all the questions. I have 10 questions that we go over, and I'll talk about that a little later, but stick around if you want to learn more about that. All right. If you want your 2025 to be way better than your 2024, stick around. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you. All right. So let's go to the next slide. All right. So sell like a doctor. Sell like a doctor. So I have my sister, she's a medical doctor. And I asked her, I said, look, so what would happen if you had a patient walk in and you told the patient, and you never found out anything about him. You told the patient, look, there's this new antibiotic that's helping a lot of people, and I'm just going to go ahead and prescribe it for you. So I'll prescribe it for you and you'll be good. And you walk out. What would happen? And then she said, well, they would just complain. They'll complain. They'll report me. They're like, this lady, yeah, she's not even helping me out, right? She's not, she's not even finding out anything about me. Right? This is malpractice. I said, exactly. We commit malpractice all the time when we're selling our offers without finding out what they need, right? So a doctor does some fact finding, right? They want to know your symptoms, right? Once they know your symptoms, then they diagnose you and say, hey, I know what's wrong with you. This is what's wrong with you. And then they prescribe medicine to help you, okay? In that order. That's what you have to do when you're selling your offer. You have to sell like a doctor. All right. Let's talk about objections, because this one is a big one. A lot of people, when they hear an objection, they just crumble, right? Someone says, I can't afford it or it's too expensive. They just crumble. So, okay, no problem. So objections are your friends. Yeah, are your friend, right? Objections are your friend. An objection allows you to know what your prospect is really interested in. They allow you to know the questions that your prospect has, right? So it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. So let me give you a few examples. So let's say, um, let's talk about the money objection, right? I can't afford it. People, you say, oh, it's $500. I can't afford it. First thing you want to do is you want to isolate the objection. In other words, you want to ask, so aside from the cost, is there anything that's stopping you from getting it? And they're like, oh no, I mean, if it were free, I'll get it. Now you know that that's the only reason they don't want it, right? But if you just talk about the objection and you don't ask that question, then after you help them out with the price, then they'll come up with something else. Then they'll come up with something else, right? So you want to isolate it, right? Right. So that's what you want to do um, when they talk about cost. And also, instead of arguing back and forth on why it's worth it, go back to their problem, right? Let's talk about their problem and how much they need that problem to be solved. And once they realize that, then they'll realize that it's worth it. Because people buy when the value exceeds the cost. So if people say it's too expensive, it's because you haven't demonstrated that the value is more than the cost. Once you do that, they'll easily buy. But people will borrow money to buy if the value is greater than the cost, right? So that's money objection. Another objection sometimes that people hear is, I have to think about it. I have to think about it. Well, Eric, I just have to think about it. Here's the thing. When someone says they have to think about it, there's typically an underlying objection that they're not telling you, but it's more comfortable for them to say, I have to think about it, right? So when someone says, I have to think about it, this is what you ask them. Say, okay, is it the cost or is it something else? So if they say it's the cost, then you go to number one and talk about that. If they say it's something else, now you know what it is and you can address that head on, right? But if you just let it go at, I have to think about it, they're like, okay, then okay, we'll talk to you later. Call me when you're done thinking about it. Probably never get the sale. Probably never get the sale because you never found out what's wrong, right? So I just gave you two objections. I go over a lot more. I actually give you a script for all of this, for the people that are in my coaching program. So if you're interested, I can actually do it here. I'll put a link in here for those of you that are interested in being a part of my next one. It's coming up. It's meetwithericf.com. Meetwithericf.com. So meet with and then Eric, ERIC, and then F, like in Frank, like in fabulous, like in fantastic, like in fortune. All right. Meetwithericf.com. Book a call with me and we'll see if this is a good fit for you. All right. We'll see if it's a good fit for you. Oh, welcome, Martine. Good to see you. Welcome, Valencia. My favorite people are on. Oh, this is awesome. This is awesome. Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. All right. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right. So, and by the way, if you came here late, watch the replay because I've given you nuggets from the beginning to the end. Okay. What I teach is not chat GPT stuff. Okay. This is stuff I've been doing for 25 years that I've been, one of the best in the companies that I've been with. And now I help entrepreneurs, right? So every slide will give you information you can take to the bank. Okay, that I'm confident about that. All right, so you want to go back and watch the whole video. Watch the whole video. All right, so let's talk about high ticket offers. Now, this right here, this information is information I've given people where they send me a testimonial that says you changed my life. I mean, and if you think I'm lying, go to successwitheric.com, click on work with me, you'll see them. They're all there, right? They say you changed my life. Why? Because there are a lot of people, some of you are listening right now, you want to go full time with your business. You want to make 10,000 a month, 20,000 a month, 30,000 a month. You want to go full time. You want to be able to live your dream, what God has purposed you to do in your life, but you're not doing that. Why? Because you're selling your offers for $150, $200. Like if your offer is $200, how many of those do you have to sell to make 10,000? Do the math. It's a lot. Like 50 or something. So what's the alternative? The alternative is to create a high ticket offer. High ticket is like 2,000, 2,500 or more. Okay. Now, why do you want to sell high ticket offers? I'm going to give you a few reasons. Your clients get a better result because they prioritize your training or your coaching or whatever it is, right? When I paid a gentleman and his wife $15,000 to help me put courses together. Coach, I never missed them. I never missed a Zoom call, right? I did everything they told me to do. Everything. I didn't question them. And I've made, a lot of money because of that, right? And I've helped a lot of people, right? So people pay attention when they pay, right? You're not doing them a favor by giving them everything for free. You're not doing anybody a favor. Trust me. All right. You make much more money. Now, this is obvious that you make much more money, but when you make much more money, you are able to serve your clients at a higher level, right? You have less clients, right? So instead of those 50 people a month that you can't really help everybody, you have 5 or you have 4. You're making more money, but you can help them. You can really dig deep. You can be on the phone with them at night, right? Right? Because you want to help them. You want to give them all you got, right? All right. Also, when you charge higher prices, it shows the value of your offer. It actually shows the value of your offer. The number one factor that shows how valuable your offer is the price you put on it, right? So if I told you that I have this coaching program that changes lives, people that will never be able to sell, they start selling $2,500 offers, $5,000 offers, and I tell you it's $100 to join my coaching, you're gonna think, how good can it be, right? How good it can. If I buy you your favorite car, right? Let's say you like BMWs, and I say, hey, I got you this brand new BMW. Like, oh, this is awesome. How much did you buy it for? $500. You'll be like, that's not real. You're like, that's not like, what kind of engine does it have, right? It's not real. So that's why you have to show value by charging it. Okay. All right. So let's see. All right. 3 ways to sell high ticket offers. Let's talk about that. 3 ways. Find out the major pains and problems of your prospect, right? Find out their major pains and problems, right? And then let them know that without your offer, how are they going to get it? How are they going to solve it? Tell stories of people who benefited from your offer, right? You have to, again, people buy off emotion, but justify with logic. So you have to tell stories, okay? And then create an irresistible offer, right? A lot of you have an offer that everybody else has. You want to have bonuses to it. Bonuses, right? Like give them a different kind of experience. Do something that's done for you. Do something that's different, right? So one of the things I do, I help coaches and speakers speak on my stages. Yeah, so I put them on the stage, right? I give them an award. I put them on the stage. They're talking to all these people, right? I give them the pictures and the videos, but then I have all kinds of bonuses I give them too. I just throw in all kinds of bonuses too. The bonuses are worth the price of the whole thing, right? So those are a few tips to create high ticket offers. And again, I go through a lot of that in my coaching. If you want to learn more, I still have a few spots available for my coaching class that starts in January. Okay. All right. So speaking of that, This is what you're going to get if you want to learn more, if you want to be a part of my coaching class. So in this coaching class, I give you all the scripts you need, like the scripts you need, what to say when you meet with people, what not to say, how to overcome objections, right? We do role play sessions where I literally one to one, like, well, it's a group coaching, but it's a small group, so I get to talk one to one with you about your offer. So we get to put together the script for your offer. We get to go over the objections that people usually have for your offer, right? We get to close the deal. I'll show you how to close the deal without being pushy or salesy with your offer, right? How to collect money, all of that. How to follow up. I do that and more. Okay. And so by the time it's done, it's 6 weeks. By the time it's done, you are a new person. Selling is now, obviously you have to practice, right? It's not voodoo, right? You got to practice, right? But you become confident. And it's a skill that anybody can learn and you can use for the rest of your life. I can sell airplanes. I can sell Boeing 757, whatever it is. I don't even know what it is, but I don't know if they have a 757. I can sell airplanes. How do I know that? Because I know how to sell. All I need to know is learn about the airplane and find out about my target audience, and I'll sell planes, right? It's a system, and you can use that system to sell what you have. I don't care if you sell products, affiliate marketing, in network marketing, you're a founder, you have product, you have services online. It doesn't matter. You're a coach, you're a speaker, like it doesn't matter, right? The system is the system. So my coaching program will help you build trust with your prospects and confidence in yourself, right? You'll build trust with your prospects and confidence in yourself. Okay. You will generate more income, no doubt. You'll definitely generate more income for your business. Um, I don't want to say how much you'll make, but you will make substantially more than you're making now, because now you'll have a system. There may be one thing that you're saying, one thing that you're making a mistake on one thing. You're saying something every single time you meet with somebody, and they're losing the sale because of it. But you don't know what you're saying, right? You got me to help you, right? There could be certain things that you need to say that you never say, and you got me to help you, right? All right. So I can help you generate more income. I help you get prospects to sell themselves. There's nothing better than to get your prospect to sell themselves on why they need to hire you, why they need to buy from you. It happens to me all the time, right? I'll show you how to do that. I'll help you overcome objections, right? So you're not scared when someone gives you an objection. I have to talk to my spouse. Oh my God, what do I do? There's a easy way to handle that. Okay, that's not pushy. That's not salesy, right? I talked a little bit about high ticket, low ticket, but in the coaching, I dive deep into it. Like, we go over your offer, and we go over how we can increase your offer, and how much you can make with that. Like, we go deep into that. I help you create a cash injection into your business. Imagine making January your best month ever, and then building upon that. I'll help you with that. Okay. And then I'll help you close sales with confidence. Close sales with confidence. All right. So book a call. Just go to meetwithericf.com. Okay. Book a call. I'll meet with you for 30 minutes. And I'll also give you a few tips, obviously, on what you're doing now. Now, it's not for everybody, right? It's not for everybody. If you're not really serious about a business, if it's just a hobby, then don't book a call. Okay. Because I'm here to help people make money and change their lives, make a profit, not not for people that are just have a hobby and they just want to be online and get a lot of followers. No, that's not what I do. I actually help you make money. Okay. Help you make money. All right. So I have tons of testimonials on my site, successwitheric.com. If you want to see it, go to successwitheric.com. This gentleman right here, David, is an introvert. All his life has been an introvert. He wanted to create a course, but he just didn't know how to do it. I helped him. He put course together. Now he's selling it. He actually contacted me like weeks after I was done and said I made my first sale, and he's been selling ever since. Okay, that's David. My good friend Cole, I think she's here. She's been in my coaching program. Helped her with her new offer. She's a life coach, a Christian life coach, and she talks about how her confidence went through the roof. Right. Here, Dr. Ola. Imagine being a doctor and never selling anything in your life. And then you create a program, like a weight loss program, which she did, and not knowing how to sell it. And then she got into another business. She does the same business I do now with the studio. And she has $10,000 days now. $10,000 days. Now imagine that. 2 days, $15,000, right? She would have never been able to do it without the coaching. She wouldn't know the first thing, right? Now it's easy. Now she can see herself making 50 grand a month. She can see it easily, right? So that's an example, right? We have Latoya Gordon here, right? That I met. Talented woman, very talented, but she wasn't making enough money in her business. Now she told us she's having not six figure, 5-figure months, right? Right. Sabrina right here. Sabrina's from Florida, right? She says you can trust him with your business and also with what you need to succeed. She wasn't making any money at all. She's so talented, wasn't making any money at all. Now, every month she's making money with her business. Every single month, right? So, I mean, I have tons and tons and tons of stories, tons of stories. This lady here, her name is Fran from Switzerland, right? She says the compassionate closer coaching is the bomb. It will make a huge difference in your ability to help people. Now, she had a great offer for companies, right? But she didn't know how to sell it because, again, it was high ticket. She didn't know how to sell it. I showed her how. The video she sent me, she said, I changed her life. Now she's selling on a consistent basis, that offer, right? And there's so many. I don't want to go through it. There's so many testimonials. I just want to give you a few examples, right? The proof is in the pudding, right? If you don't even believe me, listen to all of them, right? They can't all be lying. Right? They're not paid actors, they're real. You could check them out, right? They're all on social media. All right. So two ways to move forward. Two ways to move forward. Option one is the hard way. And it's trial and error. We're like, okay, Eric, I got some great information from you. I'm going to use this to go all the way to the top. Well, the problem is you will encounter obstacles, right? And frustration, right? So the second option is to get my help, right? That's the easy way. Get my help. You'll have step-by-step guidance, no guessing, no stressing, right? You'll be able to sell more and make more money, right? Now, like I said, it's not for everybody. It's not for people who are looking for a magic bullet, right? It's not for people that just like, I just want you to tell me that one thing that'll make me a millionaire. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. I'm not looking for negative people that are skeptical about everything. Well, Eric, I tried something, it didn't work. I tried something else, it didn't work. This one probably won't work. It won't. It won't work if you're not working. If your mindset isn't working and you're negative, it's not going to work for you. So don't book a call. Right? Don't book a call. I'm not looking for negative people. Right? Now, then there are people that are just not serious about making money. Right? They love the idea of being a business owner, of being a founder, but it's a hobby. It's a hobby. They have a nice website, right? They talk about their business from time to time, but they're really not serious about making money, right? Making money, being profitable, right? I want to put you in a position where you can't even recognize your bank account anymore, right? I mean, there have been times in my life when I didn't have any money, right? My car was leaking oil. Like I remember hearing something in my car, like the engine, and I won't even check it out because I don't have any money to fix it. Right now, I change cars. Right, I see a nice car. I say, you know what? I want a new car. Right, and I change cars. Right, so whatever you want, you can have it. Whatever you want, you can have it. You really have no excuse anymore. You don't. With social media, with AI, it's become so easy now to be successful in your business with the right training or right coaching, right? I'm looking for people who are tired of losing sales. They're tired of it. They're just like, I'm tired of losing sales. I'm looking for you. I'm looking for people who want to learn the skills to be successful in sales without being pushy or salesy. Okay. I'm looking for people who are open to learning a proven system to close more deals. Everything I teach is proven. There's no guesswork. I've been doing this for a long time. The script I give you is a script that I've developed over the last 20 years that has helped me sell well over 30 something million dollars in products and services, right? And it's helped tons of other people. Proven, 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 proven. All right. So in our last 10 minutes, let's see, I know we have some questions here and I'll be glad to answer some before I jump off. But again, if you're interested in being a part of my coaching program, I only have small classes. I don't have big classes because again, I dive deep into your business becomes my business for that 6 weeks. All right. So, all right. So we have a question here from Coral. Let's see, Coral from across the pond. Does a coach need experience to speak on your stage? Oh, she's asking about the stage. So for those of you that don't know, I run a company called studiospeaking.com. And I invite coaches, authors, speakers to speak on my stage. I promote them to my audience. I promote them on my ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, TikTok. I promote them everywhere, right? And I give them a lot of stuff. Just go to studiospeaking.com. So she's asking, right, do they need to have experience to speak? Yes, you have to have speaking experience to speak on my stage for sure. And the reason is it's not a coaching program for speakers. It's not a coaching program to help people learn how to speak. It's an opportunity for speakers to get more visibility and credibility and authority. Okay. So yeah. So you do need experience to be able to speak on my stage. Absolutely, you do. And it's not, I'm not going to train you on how to speak. That's not what I do. That's not what I do. I mean, can I? I probably can, but that's not my forte. I stay in my lane, right? So good question. Good question. So yeah, so I appreciate you. I don't think anybody else put a question in here. I don't think I see any other question in here. All right, but that's no problem. So as I close, I just want to say this to everybody listening today, that today is the beginning of the rest of your life. Okay. And it doesn't matter what happened in the past. It doesn't matter if you haven't made money for 25 years. I had a lady who's she sold tax services. She said, Eric, I wish I learned about what you teach us like 25 years ago, right? It doesn't matter. That those times it's over. The 25 years is gone. But you can change your life right now. Jim Rohn used to say, any 5 years. He used to say, any 5 years you can change your life. You can be a millionaire between 25 and 30, between 50 and 55, between 70 and 75. Oh my goodness, that inspired me. I was young at the time, real young, but I'm like, anybody can, any 5 years, you can draw a line in the sand and say, this is it. 2025 is my year. I'm going to go for it. I'm not going to make excuses. I'm going to either create my offer if I don't have one. If I have an offer, I'm going to start selling it with confidence. Okay. This is your time. Look, there has never in the history of the world been a better time to be in business. There's never been a better time. This is it. Look, I know we only have a few minutes. I remember when I had an offer that I want to sell. I lived in Atlanta, and I met with people at Starbucks to sell it. So I meet with maybe one person a week, right? And so I came up with this bright idea. I'm gonna put an ad in a paper because there's no social media. I'm gonna put an ad in a paper. So I'm like, what's the biggest paper? They said USA Today, biggest paper. Bingo. I'm gonna put an ad in USA Today. So I called them up. I said, I want to put an ad. They said, how much is it? They said $350. Okay, I'll pay. I paid $350 to put an ad this big like 3 lines in USA Today, the biggest paper in America, the largest reach. I thought I was going to be a millionaire. Man, guess what happened? Well, the day it came out, I got 6 calls because they had to call and leave a message. 6. By the way, I didn't even tell you this. Back then, you had to pay for long distance. So if you put a Atlanta number, someone in Detroit may not call you because they don't want to pay long distance. So I had to get an 800 number and pay for the number, right? So people can leave messages. I got 6 messages. The first message said, well, this is probably a scam, but if it's not, give me a call. That was the first call. Like, I was so scared to call him back. It wasn't a scam, but I was just scared. Long story short, I didn't make any money from that. I didn't make a dime. Nobody knew me. Nobody saw me. There was no video, no nothing. Now, I can do this presentation on LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook at the same time for free. I mean, with StreamYard, you may have to pay like $25, and reach thousands, and then record it and send it out again and reach thousands. And then I can use AI. I don't even use it enough. If I use it even more, I can reach more people. That's just one example. So there's no excuses now, folks, right? Make 2025 your best year ever, whether you meet with me or not. This is it. This is it. Don't wait till 2026. Make something happen. All right. So I look forward to meeting you if you want to meet. If not, perfectly okay. Appreciate you. Yeah, and I'd love for you to share the video, right? Put hashtag replay or hashtag live, whatever it is. Share the video with other people so other people can benefit from this. All right. It has been a plum pleasing pleasure to be here with you today. Appreciate all of you. Thank you all for jumping on. Take care. Bye-bye.